And welcome back. Across the United States, the freedom to read is under threat, with book bans and censorship hitting record highs in recent years. Now, this alarming trend not only limits access to diverse viewpoints, but also threatens one of the core values of American democracy, the right to read freely. Joining me now is the executive board member of the American Library Association and also chief librarian at the Queens Public Library. We're pleased to be joined by Nick Buron. And Nick, thanks for being with us. I'll start off by just getting your sentiment as to what's the mood and the sentiments per se for librarians across the city, and really if you can give us, from a broader perspective.
Thank you very much, Darren, and thank you very much for having me. Like you said, libraries of all types have been under threat. Um, in 2023, book bans and challenges have hit an all-time high in this country. And these are public libraries, these are school libraries, these are academic libraries. We are under threat by a vocal minority of people that are trying to take away your freedom to choose the books that you want to read for yourself and your family.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, when we talk about the books that are being banned, we want to know. I mean, we do know what they are. I mean, they're ones that really deal with marginalized voices. LGBTQ community, you've got minorities, communities of color, and books of those natures. Seems like those are the ones that are coming off the shelves. There is a movement that is guaranteed to bring resistance to this. So let's talk about that.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And libraries and the American Library Association and libraries across the country have always been on the front lines of this. The good thing is, in some ways, is that it is everyone that is getting mobilized to fight this. And United Against Banned Books is an organization that is bringing everyone together so that we can talk as one voice and have all the resources in one place, so that whether it's big organizations or individuals can go to get the resources they need to fight this fight.
Nick, the real crust of the matter is First Amendment. Let's talk about it. I mean, it's the right to really have freedom of speech and to be able to read and people to say what they want to say in books. And this is really the crux of the argument that's making its way through the court system.
You know, and it's ironic in some ways that there are a lot of people who are on this vocal minority talk about freedom, but we talk about freedom. Freedom is the freedom to make your own choices. And, you know, what we say is free people read freely. And, um, this is a nonpartisan issue about these to support the enduring nonpartisan American value that people should be able to read the books that they want to read. And it is under threat, and people are coming together to really understand that this is under fire, but there is hope. There is ways to combat this. And we are very excited to be announcing, a Freedom of Action Day, a Freedom to Read Community Day of Action that will be taking place next week that everyone can participate in.
Let me ask your opinion here, and for those of us just joining us, Nick Buron is our guest here. He's the executive board member of the American Library Association, also chief librarian at the Queens Public Library. What has been the impact, particularly on local libraries, with this, what I call soft censorship?
Now, that is it. It is soft censorship because here in New York, I believe that there is more of an acceptance of people who have different values, different cultures, a bit more of acceptance. But that does not mean that there are subtle changes, subtle challenges that take place every day with slight intimidations of our librarians, people taking books from book displays and maybe putting them somewhere else in the library so that other people can't see them. Slight bits of vandalism that might take place. It's small, but it is still something that we combat. It is not what many of our libraries across the country are experiencing, where they have people coming to their school boards and bringing pages and pages of books that they want removed. That takes time, effort, and money from these libraries to have to remove them. And even worse, there are some librarians at schools and at public libraries that are under threat and losing their jobs because they are standing up for this First Amendment value.
When you talk about librarians, I want to talk also about publishers, writers. These are the ones who are writing the books, finding their books on the back shelf somewhere. Sometimes it doesn't even make it into certain libraries and bookstores. What is the impact there when you have writers and publishers? And some people have done life work and case work, and they've done research and put forth the best possible book and writing possible, but yet and still has to face the fact that while it's published, it won't hit the shelves.
That is correct. And so it is, these books are published, they are out there. And in the last 10, 20 years, there's been a wonderful opportunity to hear voices of people and authors that have not otherwise been heard. And to be able to now have that moving backwards and not being able to have them on shelves, is a part of America that we are not hearing. And that is really critical, is that all voices in our community need to be heard. And if somebody is publishing a book, has authored a book, it deserves to be heard by the community, whether it's that specific community that it's being written for, but more importantly, for all communities to hear the voices that are taking place. What we can do is we know that these books are being written in libraries, public libraries, school libraries, academic libraries. We have a responsibility to bring those authors in to work to publicize their works as well. And so it's not just the author that puts their books on the shelf and it's something passive. It is something active that we can do. And when people hear about this, they should go to the library, they should go to their bookstores possibly, and actually check out these books and make them more popular.
Yeah, my mother's been deceased probably about a decade now, but I can hear her voice in my head always talking about going to the library and you get all the information that you need. My sister the same way. There's this free information. All you got to do is make your way to the library. But the reality is, in this present climate, making my way to the library, free information is really being challenged.
And how crazy is that? That the act of going to the library to educate yourself and to hear about all points of view in your community and your country is something that somehow by some people are taken as either something partisan or something that is subversive in some way. It is not. It is the American way. It is the freedom that we value to be able to hear all points of view. And that is the thing that is under threat. And that is something that we can do something about.
Nick, before we go talk about what can the public do to do something about this and how can they play a part in this resistance movement?
So glad you asked, Darren, because on Saturday, October 19th, is the Freedom to Read Community Day of Action. It's where libraries, bookstores, readers, allies across the country are going to unite against banned books and celebrate the power of books and the diverse ideas and points of view that they offer. The three library systems here in New York City, the Queens Public Library, the Brooklyn Public Library, and the New York Public Library, have partnered with the American Library Association, United Against Banned Books, the Association for Rural and Small Libraries, to create this nationwide Freedom to Read Day of Action in support of this enduring, nonpartisan American value. Go to your library on Saturday, October 19th. Read a banned book. Take to social media. And then after that day, go to your local school boards. Go to your local library school boards and speak up when you hear that something is happening, that they are trying to deny you and your family the opportunity to read diverse voices and curtail, the books that you read. Talk to your local officials. Stand up for this whenever you can, because in the end, really, it is only you as an individual that can band together with other individuals and stand together. United Against Banned Books.org will give you all the resources that you need.
Well, Nick, my brother, I've covered a lot of protests locally, nationally, globally, and I'll tell you what, I am so excited for this one right here, the one on books. And so listen, I want to tell our people more information is getting ready to come. Thank you, Nick, for joining us, and certainly best wishes in the future. Now, if you want more information to join Nick, visit the website at uniteagainstbookbans.org/Day of Action. Again, that's taking place on October the 19th. Encouraging you to stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up right after this.